Hello everyone, welcome to Emerald Dawn. Now this was developed and published by Sendo. You might know this name if you are familiar with the art scene and you make some really excellent artwork, especially of Rhea from Fire Emblem. Anyways, as you can see from the warning previously, this video might have some spoilers for Fire Emblem 3 Houses, so please watch out for that if you haven't played the game yet. Now me, I have not played the game at all, but I do know some of the characters, so I don't mind. So let's go ahead and take a look at the options, and oh, alrighty then. No need to change that. I am a fast reader, so thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and start the game. This was also released on December 27th, 2022, so very recently. And let's just go with the Byleth instead. Yes, indeed. It has been a while since you've been here, the place you call home. And I do believe all the artwork is made by Sendo, so that is pretty impressive. Also the programming too, quite impressive. Your mission to hunt down Slither stragglers has kept you away for weeks. It's an easy task if all it takes is striking the enemies down. But the survivors of the wicked group have already scattered across the continent and underground. As you look around your beloved home, the scars of war have soured your mood. Thanks to the war, the once immaculate Garreg Mach is now in ruins. Buildings all over the monastery are damaged, and debris is scattered everywhere. As you walk the grounds, a welcome sight finally appears before you. Ah, it's Shamir! I quite like Shamir. I don't know, I think Marianne's my favorite Fire Emblem 3 Houses girl. How did the hunt go, Professor? Oh, Shamir. The Slithers were already gone by the time I got there. Apart from the demonic monsters guarding the hideouts, I couldn't find any trace of them. And I do apologize if I mispronounce any names. If I do, please let me know how to pronounce them. I see. That's truly unfortunate. Had I forgotten the information sooner. No need to fret over it, Shamir. They may have gotten away this time, but sooner or later they'll run out of places to hide. It's only a matter of time. Thanks again for the lead, Shamir. Save for things for the day you bring their heads back home. Sure. Oh, there's no need to carry their heads all the way back home, is there? I was joking, Professor. Lighten up. Oh. Shamir's hearty laugh shakes the stress that has gripped you. It's rare for Shamir to smile, much less laugh out loud. Seeing the sight of the no-nonsense sniper warms your heart. You've been really tense ever since the final battle. Seriously, you gotta take some time off and loosen up, Professor. That's my line, Shamir. You've been working non-stop yourself. This whole time, you've never stopped gathering intel on our enemies. Whether it's a bandit uprising, a monster blockade, or civil unrest, your information network has kept us on top of things. On top of that, you keep a tight patrol around the monastery. Compared to you, my job is simple. Don't put yourself down, Professor. Your job is no less important than mine. Don't forget that. And didn't I tell you before, Fodlan and Garreg Mach have become home to me. I will never let anyone destroy my home. Our home. Now stop sulking and go relax in the sauna. I heard the builders finally fixed the bathhouse. She smiles one last time and gives you a tap on the shoulder before going her way. Her stride carries a sense of urgency. Heeding her advice, you make your way to the bathhouse to relax. On the way there, a familiar figure standing by the entry hall gate clad in light armor waves at you. Were it not for the smile strewn across his face, he would have mistaken the guard as a fixture to the gate. I wonder if he has something to report. As if reading your mind, he starts making his way towards you. Professor, I've been waiting for you. I have something to report. Ah! In his excitement, he failed to notice the pile of rubble in his way. You step forward to help him up, but he suddenly shouts at you, causing you to back away in surprise. Lady Rhea has awakened! Your mind goes blank as it desperately tries to process what you just heard. It has been several weeks since the final battle. The battle where you forced yourself to impale the rampaging Immaculate One with the sword of the Creator. And the battle where you held Rhea in your arms in her dying breath. By the grace of the goddess, she managed to survive, but she has been in critical condition ever since. At long last, the day you have been praying for has finally come. Thank you for the report. You give him a firm grip on the shoulder before dashing towards the Archbishop's quarters. You reach the third floor of the central building in record time. The familiar door to Archbishop's quarters greets you, and you open it without delay. A breath escapes you as a sight of the most important person in your life comes into view. Inside, Rhea reclines with her eyes half lidded. Alright, let's take a good look at Rhea. Curvy, very tight-fitting dress, beautiful. Excellent work, Sendo. She is exhausted, but shifts her gaze to look at you. How does Rhea sound again in the game? I forgot. I'll try her best. The shining emeralds lock with yours, and she smiles. Rhea. Professor. Byleth. I'm so happy to see you. You gasp a little after finally hearing Rhea's voice once more. You step closer, desperate to feel her warmth. How are you feeling? You expect to be awoken at any moment, as if everything is just a dream. But Rhea's warmth reassures you that it is all real. She is alive. She is awake. And she is smiling like everything is fine. Your face heats up as feelings of relief and happiness well up inside you. For once your prayers have been answered. Ahem. A voice startles you, breaking your trance. You finally realize that you have company. In fact, they were there the whole time. You were simply too absorbed with Rhea to notice. You turn towards the two, finally acknowledging their existence. Flame, Manuela. Ah, look at little Flame, his small cutie. Fish. And of course, Manuela. Oh, Professor, how nice of you to notice us. Hello, Professor. Allow me to thank you for everything you've done for Rhea. If you were not around back then, Rhea, It is Lady Rhea's will to live that got her through that ordeal. You don't need to thank me for that, Professor. Besides, she stops herself, her face slowly becoming distressed. She eyes Rhea and Flame. Rhea nods. Their exchange puzzles you. Finally, Manuela breaks it to you. Professor, you need to hear this. As you can see, Lady Rhea's physical condition has stabilized. However, she is far from a complete recovery. You stare at Manuela with a confused look. Rhea looks a little tired, but nothing else seems amiss. To be specific, Lady Rhea's physical condition is almost back to normal. In fact, her physical recovery is nothing short of miraculous. However, her magical powers is a different story. Due to her severely weakened state, her magical powers have become unstable. Though it's not ideal, we have decided to seal her magic for the time being. Your face contorts at the revelation. If Rhea loses control of her magical powers, she may go berserker once again, and the nightmare that you thought was over will begin anew. Noticing your apprehension, Rhea holds her hand. There is no need to worry, Byleth. As long as I stay inside this room, my powers will be kept at bay. Flame fashioned these prisms to suppress my powers. I suggested this measure myself, for everyone's safety. Looking around, you notice several prisms silently glowing around the room. Your earlier excitement prevented you from noticing something so apparent. Don't worry, Professor. We found a way to restore her magical control. It's a complicated magical ritual and it may take several weeks, but I'm certain it will work. I may be young, but you can rely on me. It brings me great joy to have someone to rely on. With everyone's help, I shall never relive the nightmare of losing control of my body. Don't look so sad, Rhea. It's going to be okay. I do not want that to ever happen again. If her powers were to go out of control, she might transform back into the Immaculate One. You may have to fight her again, and in the worst case scenario, you may have truly have to kill her. But it pains you to admit, sealing her powers is the correct course of action. Is there anything I can do to help? I'm afraid not, Professor. Only Flame and I are allowed to partake in the healing ritual. Why is that? Due to the nature of the ritual, only Flame can perform it. Only someone with Nabatean blood with a high enough affinity to magic can safely undertake the ritual. My dear brother Seteth wanted to help, but the ritual is too risky even for someone like him. I will be monitoring Lady Rhea's physical condition so Flame can focus solely on her task. So apart from Manuela and Flame, you're going to be locked alone in this room for a few weeks. Is that right, Rhea? That is correct, Byleth. Are you going to be okay by yourself, Rhea? Even if I am alone, I am well protected. The prisms will notify Manuela and Flame should any intruder manage to break into my room. In addition to that, Catherine volunteered to guard the perimeter of this room. Dear Brother Seteth also posted more knights around this building. I hope I'm saying that name right. I so apologize. I'm truly grateful for everyone's concern and support. You feel relieved to hear such measures are in place, but you meant something different with your question. You want to be with Rhea. Is there really nothing I can do to help? I can be an assistant or something. How about it?
Oh, the ritual would take an entire day, so having someone bring fish snacks would be awesome.
Ah, you classic, you fishy girl.
Come to think of it, our wine supply is running low. We need someone to make sure we're well stocked.
What does wine have to do with this? And fish snacks? You want a gopher, not an assistant.
You turned to Rhea, who was chuckling from your banter.
It wasn't that long ago when she was breathing her dying breath. To see her laugh like this truly puts your mind at ease. And under Flay and Manuela's care, you feel confident that Rhea will recover completely. All these finally abate your longing for Rhea, if only for the moment. With a heavy sigh, you let out the fog that has gripped you since the final battle. Things are looking better. The dark days have passed, and now you can look forward to days filled with smiles. You feel a smile form on your face as you're filled with hope. Fine, I won't bother your ritual. But I'm always here if you need me. After chatting and catching up, you take your leave so that Rhea can rest. The events of the day still weigh heavily on your mind. Though Rhea is safe, she is not completely recovered yet. You can't help but feel worried. On your way back to your room, you pass by the training hall. You decide to stop by for a quick training session to clear your mind. Once inside, you quickly find a spare training sword. The wooden sword fits rather oddly in your hands. It has been a while since you used a weapon. Apart from hunting down slither stragglers, you haven't been in a real fight since the final battle weeks ago. Shaking your head, you focus your mind and start some basic swings. You're thankful for this tentative peace, but you won't let your skills be wasted. As you train, you find your mind wandering to memories from long ago, here in this very hall. You're here early, Professor. Don't really want to miss my sparring session with the Archbishop, do I? Wait, where is everyone? You look around the training hall, but you don't find a single soul, apart from Shamir. Even on a weekend, the training hall is never without some students training or just hanging around. Puzzled, you look to Shamir for answers. I had the training hall cleared out. A sparring session with Lady Rhea is not a public event. Huh. Was that really necessary? I'm sure some students would be thrilled to see the Archbishop fight. Even if Lady Rhea allows it, having spectators is simply out of the question. It's no secret that Lady Rhea has made some enemies as the figurehead of the church. Whether it's her fighting style or her arsenal of spells, any information about Lady Rhea can and will be made a weakness by her enemies to take her down. Are you saying Lady Rhea has enemies within the monastery? It's not impossible. In any case, Lady Rhea's safety is of utmost importance, so you must take every precaution. Well, what about that large opening? You point up to the open roof of the training hall. It serves as an access for Pegasus and Wyvern riders, but it seems possible that Rhea's enemies could use it to ambush her from above. I'd like to see them try. She pats her bow. There's a hint of bloodlust in her voice. A few moments later, Lady Rhea arrives alongside Catherine. Ah, it's Catherine, I remember her. I thought she was pretty. Looks like someone's ready for a beatdown. Ignoring Catherine's taunt, can't tell but knows Rhea's unusual garb. It's the first time we've seen her in anything but her elaborate dress. Thank you for accepting my invitation, Lady Rhea. I must say, I did not expect such a request from you. Please forgive my bluntness, but since my father let it slip that you were a capable fighter, I haven't been able to get you out of my mind. Her eyes widen, seemingly surprised by her response, but her expression quickly softens into a smile. There is no need to apologize, Professor. On the contrary, I am glad you invited me. My duties as the Archbishop rarely require that I take up arms. As a result, I am terribly out of shape. One moment, Professor. Is that really a fighting outfit, ma'am? Oh, dear goddess. You have always found Rhea beautiful, and many times have you wondered what's under her heavy, elaborate clothing. Without ceremonial robes to obstruct her figure, you find yourself marveling at her boundless curves. Rhea is stunning, a shining pillar of divine beauty. You're a lot more agreeable to the idea of conducting this sparring session in private now. Distracted, Professor? Seems like something's caught your interest. You blink and turn to face the blonde knight finally. Had your stare really been so obvious? Rhea watches you from afar, a smile playing on her lips. She flourishes her sword and paces around you at a languid pace. I'm sorry, Is my clothing too distracting for you, Professor? Oh, not at all. I'm just not used to seeing you in a different attire. It's not the clothing. It's the lack of it. Even with your previous stare chided by Catherine, you can't stop dropping your gaze to behold Rhea's pale flesh. I don't typically dress this way for a sparring session. But after hearing about your daring exploits, I knew I would need something easy to move around in. I do not intend on holding back, Professor, and I hope you can say the same. Shall we get started then? With the sword in one hand and a confident stance, Rhea exudes a vastly different aura from the Archbishop that you know. There's something awe-inspiring with her new, almost playful demeanor. You feel yourself smiling in excitement. You take a moment to compose yourself. Eager to cross blades with the woman in front of you, you draw your training sword and resume your fighting stance. I'm ready when you are. Let's do this. It's been 5 years since then, huh? You chuckle remembering how badly Rhea destroyed you. And you'll never forget Catherine's howls of laughter after your defeat. Capable fighter was an understatement. Rhea is a true warrior. After that heart-pounding sparring session, paid more and more attention to her. You became captivated by her, intrigued by her terrifying prowess beneath her gentle demeanor. You came to visit and request her more and more, and she was always very receptive to you, to your delight. Whether it was tea, spars, or just an afternoon conversation, Rhea always made time for you despite her busy schedule. Over time, you simply wished to spend more time with her. Thanks to Rhea, you discovered a new and unique feeling, It was a feeling you have only read about or heard from others. A feeling you cherished and wanted to share with Rhea. The war and the 5 long years of separation made things complicated. But now that the war is over, and Rhea's safe, you're determined to make your feelings for her known. I like the little calendar thing. It's small, but it's really nice. Rhea's healing ritual began soon after her awakening. You have nothing to contribute to the process, much to your frustration. Still, that did not stop you from visiting her every chance you got.
How many times do I have to tell you? No visitors allowed. Not even you, Professor.
Not even if I can help?
Is your name Flayn or Manuela?
Call me whatever you want, but I want to see Rhea.
Listen, it's not like I don't understand how you feel. If I knew any magic, I'd be inside helping with the ritual instead of guarding the door like an underpaid bouncer. Even then, I'd need to have Nabatean blood to be of any use.
She glances towards the door. Can't sense annoyance in her tone. Although Rhea looks human, she's in fact one of the few remaining Nabateans. Knowledge about their kind is limited. It's only thanks to your connection with Rhea that you learned about them. In order to protect the secrets of their kind, Seth decreed that only Flayn and Manuela are allowed to partake in the healing ritual, with Manuela overseeing the whole process. You break from that thought when you hear the door to Rhea's room creak open.
Oh, Professor, are you here to see Lady Rhea?
That's right. Can I come in? Manuela emerges from Rhea's room and blocks your way.
We're done for the day, but Lady Rhea needs to rest.
Still no visiting allowed? She nods. That's a shame. I was hoping to have tea with her. I even brought crescent moon leaves, one of her favorites.
That's really thoughtful of you, Professor. I think she'll love it.
They've been backordered for weeks. I promise to be brief, Manuela. Just tea, and I'll be on my way.
I know how you feel, Professor, but I don't think she's ready to entertain visitors just yet. Manuela, don't you think she seemed to have a little more energy than after the ritual last week?
It's true that her condition has improved, and I do recall Lady Rhea mentioning she was yearning for some tea. She narrows her eyes as she's contemplating on something. After a moment, she looks at you and smiles.
All right, Professor. I'll allow it this time.
Let me check if she's alright with this. Catherine steps into Rhea's room. From the hallway, you can hear their brief, muffled conversation. She returns after a few moments with a surprised look on her face.
Consider yourself lucky. Go on, then.
Before letting you in, Manuela grabs your arm.
Rest is critical in the healing process. Don't take too long, okay?
Relax, Manuela. I'll be good. Something in her expression makes you think she doesn't believe you. Nonetheless, she lets you pass.
And no funny business, you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
And I think this is where I'll stop. And if you want to try this out for yourselves, I will provide links down below in the comments. And yeah, it's also an adult vision novel, so please make sure that you're 18 and up to play this. Anyways, thank you for watching, and maybe leave a comment of what you think so far. And if you wanna, see his artwork, I'll provide his Twitter down below. Anyways, thank you for watching, and take care.